Hi everyone, welcome to 40K on Point, the channel that quantify Warhammer 40K. This video describe the Imperial Knight, the smaller ones, the Armiger, and it is using our predefined and quantified metrics. If you want to know more about the methodology that is used in this video, please follow the link in the description. The two units that will be analyzed in this video is the Helverin and the Warglaives. For 175 points you are getting one Helverin armed with two Armiger autocannon and a heavy stubber. The unit has a 14-inch of movement, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 3+. Its autocannon has a range of 60-inch because it has two of them. It has a 4d3 heavy shot, strength 7, AP -1, and damage 3. So for 175 points you are getting 12 wounds, toughness 7, and save 3+. It also has Iron Shield, which give a 5+ invulnerable save. The unit also has 4 attack, strength 6, no special weapon when it comes to melee. So the Helverin performed well in our metrics. It reached a score of 115% its value. It is a dedicated anti-tank shooter, reaching a 3-star level, and it is also a decent anti-personal shooter, so it's a good shooting platform. Its fortitude score is below average, so the defensive cost of that unit is a bit less than average. But its melee capacity are very poor, but it is a very mobile unit that can move and shoot without any penalty. So overall it makes a unit that is a bit more than worth its point. The next unit is the Warglaive. So for 160 points you are getting one model armed with the Reaper chain cleaver, the thermal spear, and a melta-gun. So the unit, very similar to the Helverin, has a 14-inch of movement, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 3+. Its thermal spear is essentially a melta-gun with a 30-inch of range. Its Reaper chain cleaver is very interesting. When it goes against a vehicle, it acts as a dreadnought weapon almost, and when it sweep it becomes flexible to make 2 attacks, so it's decent both against vehicle and against infantry. So it makes a unit that has some flexibility when it comes to doing damage both in shooting and in melee. For 160 points you are getting again 12 wounds, toughness 7, save 3+, and the Iron Shield that allows to give a 5+ invulnerable save against ranged weapon. So overall the Warglaive performed extremely well in our metrics, reaching an overall score of 185%. So its damage output far exceed the defensive cost for that unit. It is a dedicated anti-tank shooting platform, reaching a 3-star level per point. And also it is a dedicated anti-tank melee unit, reaching again a 3-star on that element. And also it is okay for fighting against infantry units when it goes to melee, but it's not good at shooting. So it has a lot of offensive capacity. Normally a unit with that variety of option for damage output would have a much higher defensive cost, and it's not the case here. Its fortitude score is very low, 7.73. That means you are paying far less per normalized wound than you would normally. So it's a defensive unit that has a very good offensive output, and that is quite flexible. Also it is a very mobile unit, 14-inch of movement, being able to move and shoot, and there's a lot of possibility with that unit. So both units are interesting choice. They are both mobile unit. Of course the Helverin is more a shooter that stay in the back, while the Warglaive would probably more be close to the opponent. The advantage of the Warglaive in our metrics was because of its 15-point class, so that affect the fortitude score because they have the same statistic for toughness and their armor save. Also, the cumulative effect of the melee weapon of the Warglaive that is flexible. Usually Dreadnought, because it's around the Dreadnought price range for the Warglaive. Usually Dreadnought are dedicated anti-tank melee unit, and their score per point against personal are usually not very good. But because the Warglaive has two options, so it makes some flexibility in the unit that is interesting. And per point, it is a better anti-tank shooting unit than the Helverin. So that's why overall it makes a better score than the Helverin. However, if you are looking for a unit that would sit back, the Helverin would definitely be a better choice. Both units can reach 200% competitive status. So the Helverin, both of them would be by taking a Preceptor Knight, which allow to reroll 1 to hit, and also the Helm Dominatus that allows to add 1 to their attack rolls. So therefore, that would be themselves very good boost for both of those units. The Helverin reaches 200% competitive status by the stratagem Thin Their Rank. So for 1 command point, when you're shooting at infantry that are more than 6 or more models, then you are shooting with the full amount of attacks, so 12 shots, and that brings the unit to 232%. So that makes the Helverin a competitive unit. The Warglaive also very easily, in fact, it's almost competitive just by adding the household benefit. It would reach 200%, but if we take the same element and we considered some stratagem with when they are near a Preceptor and with Helm Dominatus, just that would bring that to 270%. But when we use Pack Hunter and Pack Tactics, so essentially it allows to reroll charge roll, and also it add attacks when you have other Warglaives within some, I think it's 6 inch of one of the Warglaives. All the other are getting increased amount of attacks in close combat. So it brings the unit to 233% of their value. So very, very easy for the Warglaive to be considered competitive. This video analyzed the Imperial Knight Armiger using our quantifiable methodology. Please feel free to comment on how to increase the efficiency of those units. Also subscribe if you like this kind of content. I will upload all the units of 40K using exactly the same method. Thank you for watching. Over and out.